Yeah, check it. We moving like time ticks. Code 6 custom watch game is sick.
Hey, this is Dave at Code 6 Customs. I've had a YouTube channel for a while, and I haven't really done much with it, so I'm going to try to do something a little bit different now. Mainly the YouTube channel was for me to make videos for people that buy my custom watches, which are basically Seiko-powered custom watches, all brand new parts. They're primarily automatics. And I found when I started selling these that a lot of people have never had an automatic watch, didn't know how automatic watches worked. They've never sized a bracelet. They just like watches. So I made a few videos kind of showing people how to use the watches and that kind of stuff. But now I'm going to do a little more about the actual business, which is just basically me building watches. So called it Code 6 Customs. I originally started building what are basically Seiko mod watches. And that's custom watches that are Seiko powered. And a lot of people use fake Seiko dials on them. I chose not to. I decided I had to either use sterile dials with nothing on them or come up with some kind of a name. So I came up with Code 6 Customs. People that know me from Whatnot is a live streaming sales show. People who know me from there can fast forward because you've already heard this. But for new people here, Code 6 comes from my 28 years in law enforcement. I did as a corrections officer, then a sergeant, then a lieutenant in New Jersey. And a Code 6 was the officer in distress call in my department. So when you heard a Code 6 on the radio, everybody ran towards it, knuckled up, ready to fight, and that's where all the action was. And I thrived on the action. I retired a little too early. I retired at 49 after 28 years in there. And I really missed it. So when it was time to come up with a name, I came up with Code 6 Customs. I thought it sounded good. And either way, it looks good on a watch. These are actually some custom commissions that are on their way out today. These are some of the watches I have in stock. So that's where Code 6 Customs came from. So, in addition to building custom watches, I've also began to do a line of watches that I call antique mods. That's these down here on the bottom. Now, an antique mod is a marriage watch, where I take an antique pocket watch movement and house it in a custom case specifically designed and manufactured to house pocket watch movements. They're called marriage watches. It's not something I came up with on my own. They've been doing it for a long time. I just do it a little cheaper and a little better. So basically what I want to do is I want to take you around here. This is Code 6 Customs, what I call Watch Central. This is where I do all my building. That's where I keep all my parts. We're going to talk about that tower in a second. But I want to talk to you a little bit about the antique mods and take you through my process of selecting the movements, buying the parts, and all that. So stay tuned for a minute or two or 15 or however long it takes till you get bored, and I'm going to take you through it. All right, so let me show you a few of these. This is a 1902 Waltham pocket watch movement, housed in a 40mm case. The cases are designed and manufactured specifically to house pocket watch movements, and I used the open case backs, the exhibition backs on all of them so you could see the beautiful, the damascening, the engraving on these movements. That's really part of the whole presentation. It's just beautiful workmanship. These cases are perfect fit, perfect finish. When I first started doing this, I was using the typical watch modding cases, and I was hand modifying them to accept pocket watches, the movements, and the stems and the crowns. And if you know pocket watches and you know wrist watches, a lot of times the pocket watch has the stem at 12 o'clock, like this 1916 Illinois. But beyond that, the stem and crown on a pocket watch operates very differently than on a standard wristwatch, a modern wristwatch. So I was hand modifying the watch mounting cases to accept pocket watches and the stems and crowns that go along with them. I hooked up with this case manufacturer, and he designs and manufactures cases specifically for the American pocket watches. Now the fit is perfect, the finish is perfect, the stem action is perfect, and they're beautiful pieces. This is a 1931 Waltham. It's a secometer. So instead of the seconds hand in a dial and a hand at 6 o'clock, you have a rotating disc behind the main dial to show the seconds. So this is a really cool movement. I've used it a couple times. It's actually on the higher end of my price scale because I pay up for these movements. And this is another really nice piece. But the fact that these things are still running after 100 plus years is a testament to the workmanship and the engineering of the American pocket watch manufacturers of the period. Okay, so if you've made it this far in the video, you'll notice that some things have changed. Some of these watches are missing. They're the ones I had to ship out yesterday. I had to stop screwing around with videos because I had to ship some watches out. I had some customer contact I had to make. Constantly messages on Instagram. So that is my Instagram. That is where I do the majority of my business. Instagram at C6C Watches. That's where you can contact me to get in line for one of these marriage watches, to custom commission one of my Seiko-based, what I call regular customs, or to just have any questions, anything I can help you with, contact me on Instagram at C6C Watches. So I showed you around a little bit yesterday, my little work area. I keep it clean, I keep it tight and right. And this is the Tower of Pain. So I want to take you through what I do to make these marriage watches happen. So the first step in what I do, I order a lot of stuff. I'm constantly getting packages in, new pocket watch movements, pocket watches, parts. I deal with several jewelers in the area and some not in the area. I buy a lot of stuff. And in the future, I'm going to be doing some unboxing videos of that stuff because it's kind of interesting. It's always interesting to me when people do unboxing videos. But I want to show you some of the stuff I get and what I do with it. But basically, I go through the pocket watches and I pull out viable movements. By viable movements, I mean runners. So I start with running movements because I don't want to be chasing problems. I don't want to have a non-running movement and then try to have to figure out why it's not running and then maybe get it running and it stops running. I don't want to go round and round and round chasing problems on a movement. So I start with running movements. And that way, if they stop running, I know it's something I did to them and I can retrace it and figure out what it is. So these are two running movements right now that I'm monitoring. That's an 1896 Waltham. That's going to be a 40 millimeter. That's another one that's a zero size. That's going to be a 36 millimeter. That is also a Waltham 1905. This here is a dead movement with a beautiful dial and fancy hands. So rather than try to bring that back to life, I'm going to take the hands and the dial off and use them on another build. That's another movement like that. Once I get the movements in, they somehow make it into the Tower of Pain. So in the Tower of Pain, I have a tray of stuff, movements that I keep that have good balances, that have good mainsprings, that I'm scavenging parts from. I have a tray full of runners that have been at that stage and they've made it through. Or they've been at that stage, I've done what I need to do to them, they've made it through, and now they're runners. Then I have a tray, movements of ready for builds. So once they make it through all the stuff I do, I deem them ready for builds, and then these go up on my Instagram in stories. This is where people pick out the marriage watch that they want, put a deposit down, and then we move them to lockups. You've locked it up. So then we move to the lockups tray. I have 3 lockups for the next round. I also have 3 trays, one of them with small movements with potential, one of them with 6 size with potential, and one with larger movements, 10, 12, and 16 with potential. These are movements that, while they were in this stage, they showed potential. They showed promise, but they are not good runners yet. So they're the ones that I will focus on when I'm trying to weed out and get some better runners. I have a tray for projects, and then small trench cases that I make trench watches out of. So I have a ton of movements. I constantly get more movements in. But the process to get one of these marriage watches is you have to follow my Instagram at C6C Watches. You follow me on Instagram at C6C Watches. I'm constantly on Instagram, and I post movements that are ready for builds. This particular one is an 1891 to 1895 Waltham. Fancy dial, plain hands, but this will be available as a 40 millimeter. This is a 1908 Elgin. Again, it's been deemed ready for build. This will be a 40 millimeter. So if you happen to go on my Instagram, you see this, you like it, you contact me. We talk about putting a deposit on it, and you move it to the ready for builds. So I have several right now. This will fill up over the next few days, and the Instagram stories will reflect everything that I have that's ready for builds. So you follow me on Instagram at C6C Watches. In the stories, you see something you like, you contact me, and we take it from there. I show you pictures of the cases that I use. We talk about the process. And that's how we do it. I do sell on Whatnot, which is a live stream sale app. Very cool. But I generally don't sell the pocket watch conversions on Whatnot because they never make it to Whatnot. If for instance, I built this out of nowhere just because I had an extra dial, I had extra movement, I had an extra case, and I built that. That would go on my Instagram as available. And if you wanted to buy that entire watch, you would get it there. If for whatever reason it makes it through Instagram, and they almost never do, then I would bring it to Whatnot at a Whatnot price to cover Whatnot fees. Price is always going to be better on my Instagram. And I could sell it there. I also have an eBay account, which the prices are even higher than Whatnot. I have my own website, www.c6cwatches.com, and my prices are the highest there because I would prefer you buy direct on Instagram or on Whatnot. But it's everybody, you need a website up there, whatever. My YouTube channel you found because you're watching this. So basically that's the process. And what I'm going to be doing in the future is with the packages I get in, I'm going to be unboxing them, going through the movements, and I'm going to be doing videos on that. Possibly to teach you, possibly to entertain you, possibly whatever, to just get my name out there, to reach a broader audience. But that's going to be coming up. So if that interests you in any way, watching me tear down a pocket watch movement, maybe watching me take the hands, the dial off of that, maybe digging in deeper. This looks like it's got a free balance, but for whatever reason, it's not running. If any of that interests you, keep checking back. I will be posting all the new videos, links to the YouTube on my Instagram, and I really do appreciate everybody's support. Again, if you're interested in any custom commission or buying any watch that I have in stock, or getting in line in a waiting list for one of the antique mods, that's where you do it. Instagram at C6C Watches. Once again, appreciate your support and hope to do business with you sometime soon.
Tick-tock, hand spin, code 6, the ignition. Others out here fishing, but they miss in the vision. Polish on the bezel, revolution on the wrist. They imitate the wave, but the tide don't twist. Craft sharp, sharper than a shattered sapphire. They stuck in the mud, we walk through fire. Blueprints stolen, but they fumble the design. Wanna chase the throne, but the crown's still mine. Code 6, code 6. The king, the throne, the crown. They try, they fail, can't ever break us down. Tick-tock, they watch, but they can't match the sound. Code 6 Customs, we forever wear the crown. Sheer grind, hear the grind, we set the tempo. Their clock stuck on yesterday, we flex crescendo. Innovation's blood, it's running in the veins. They chase the same fame, but can't escape the chains. Chisel every edge, precision's our doctrine. They mimic the moves, but lack the concoction. From dials to straps, we break the mold. While they're stuck in the past, we're dripping gold.